As part of this mini series, we have spent time identifying the old way of online coaching and the history of online coaching and where it is today and the future in regards to online coaching moving forward. What's actually going to happen moving forward? We've spoken about the exact system that you need to plug in to work with over 100 clients as a solo coach, working less than 20 hours a week, giving you that freedom, that flexibility, but working with amazing clients and having a large profit margin actually in your business. We've then gone through the exact stepping stones in the acquisition system to create predictable leads, predictable sales, predictable growth, and the 6-step framework to take you to £50,000 per month plus. Now, here we are on the fourth and final step of this mini series. How do you become a multi-millionaire from online coaching, or how do you achieve your dream life? How do you achieve your goals? How do you leverage your coaching business, the profits from your coaching business into the real goal, the real goals that we actually want to achieve? It's that protection. It's providing for your family. It could be a certain asset. It could be a certain car, a certain watch, a certain life. You might want to travel. Every single person on this planet is different. And this is what really separates me apart in my space, in the business coaching space, because nobody, and I mean nobody, is talking about these things. And this is why this is the third component of SoloCoach. We have Kickstart plugging in the system. We have the build program, which then we go on to build your profits and actually build your business to that £50,000 per month plus mark. So we've got that revenue coming through and we've got that profit coming through. Now, what do we do with that profit? How do we invest that profit? How do we leverage the business to actually fuel the one true goal, your personal goals outside of the business? And this is what we're going to touch on today. And this is the third component of that entire customer journey that I take all of my clients through. And I've had to figure out the hard way because I've been that person who's earned a lot of money and spent it all. And I've earned a lot of money and I've not budgeted for my tax before, and it's stung me in the ass. I've been in a position where I've been earning good money and then I've been broke at the end of the month because I've not understood the concepts of my business money isn't my personal money. Because the government like to take a little bit of that. So I've made every single mistake there is under the sun. And I think it's a very, very common thing. And I see this and I have conversations with a lot of coaches about this as well. So not only have I had to learn the hard way and come out of the other side and truly understand exactly how to leverage my own business for my future, my family's future. There's a lot of coaches just like yourself who are in the exact same position. You might be earning 10 grand a month right now, but you're broke. Which is an absolute shame. You might have been working with working on your business and working with clients for the last 10, 15, 20 years maybe, and you've got nothing to show for it, which is extremely frustrating and demotivating, especially when you're trying to wake up, enjoy what you actually do, and grow a business that you actually love. Let's start looking after you. And this is where this final component of this mini series actually comes to. Okay, so as I mentioned, part 4 of 4 in this mini series. How do you provide and protect yourself and your family for years to come, so you're not reliant on your solo coaching business? So if you went on holiday tomorrow, would you be okay personally, or do you feel handcuffed to the business? You have to keep working. You have to create content. You have to serve your clients. You have to sell. You have to market. You have to do everything. Okay, are you reliant on your coaching business, or are you protected outside of your coaching business? Okay, this is a question that you actually need to ask yourself, and this is what we're going to go through today. Okay, so the first thing that you've got to do is you've got to get really, really clear on your goal. Why did you even start the business in the first place? What was the point of this? Quite often we start a business and we leave employment because we want flexibility, we want freedom, we want to earn more money, we want to not feel as restricted in regards to our finances, and we want to feel like we don't have a ceiling that's super, super low. We want to expand into our potential and progress towards the life that we actually want to live. It could be assets, it could be a life that you actually live, it could be experiences. Again, every single person is completely different. But what was that reason that you actually started the business? What was that? Okay, now let's get really, really clear on where you want to go. Now, this isn't a question that I'm looking to ask where you can just think in dreamland, you have that mindset that, oh, that's just a dream, that's never going to happen. You have to back yourself. What is that life that you want to live? Let's map it out. Let's get really, really clear. Let's make it fucking happen. because so often we set ourselves goals, and if we don't achieve them, we stop believing in ourselves. And it's incredibly important for you to understand that if another human being has achieved something, then you can too. It's something that my granddad actually told me when I was very, very young. I remember this very clearly. I remember when I was at school, and very, very young in primary school in the UK. So under the age of 11, I can't remember the exact age I actually was. I remember we were writing down, okay, what do you want to be when you're older? The teacher was actually asking this question. And most kids at that time, that I want to be a footballer, because that was the dream, that was the goal. And I remember a lot of teachers actually saying, yeah, but what's the plan B here? And I remember that fully demotivating quite a lot of the kids in the class, myself included. And I remember going home to my granddad, and he said, Josh, has someone landed on the moon? Well, yes, they have. Has someone become a footballer before? Well, yes, they has. Has someone become an F1 driver before? And he started reeling off all these professions with all of these celebrities and astonishing human beings that have gone out to achieve incredible things in their lifetime. And he said, if one human being has done it before, that means it's possible. It's not impossible because it's been done. So if it's been done, that means you can do it too. And it just installed this belief into me. And there was a story that I actually wanted to share, because it's a story that I'll always remember and I'll never forget, even though I was so young. And it's really, really important that as you move through this journey, and if you're looking to leverage the profits from your business into your future life, you've got to back yourself, and you've got to believe that you're actually going to get there. Because if you don't believe that you're not going to get there, then it won't happen. The reality of that thought process just will not happen. Okay, so it's really, really important that we get super clear. Okay, now moving on. As soon as we've got that vision, we can then use AI now to actually bring that vision to life. Okay, we can use AI tools to bring that vision to life. So we can talk about exactly what that dream life actually is. What you want to achieve, why you want to achieve it, what's the purpose, what's the meaning, what's the fuel, what's the drive behind actually wanting to raise profits in your coaching business, and then use those profits for the things that actually mean the most to you in your life. Okay, again, something no other business coach in my space is talking about, and this is what I really want to get across, and this is what I help my clients with. So as you can actually see here, this is my very own vision. So this is something that me and my wife, we've sat down and we've mapped this out together. Okay, so our future vision is we actually want a generational home, what's called a generational home. Okay, I've never had a home. I would say I kind of left my parents' home at the age of 19. My dad's a property developer, so he's always built homes and into incredible things, sold them on for profit and moved on. He's worked his way up the ladder, and then his strategy was to always sell the last home, downsize, and then that profit is for him and my mother to live the rest of their lives together, which is a great strategy. But in the meantime, we had a lot of moving. Okay, so it moved about a lot, and then even in my adult years from age 19, I found that was a common pattern, because I found, okay, I'm moving here, and then I moved to Spain, I moved home, and I was constantly moving. So for me, the most important thing for me is I actually want a base, I want a foundation, I really want a home. Now I've found that home in regards to where I am now, where I've got my wife and I've got my son, and we live a phenomenal life, and I feel at peace, I feel grounded. So we finally found our location. But now the biggest thing for me is I want a generational home, because times are getting tougher. Things are actually getting harder. Okay, my wife looks after my son full time, does a phenomenal job with that at the moment, but there's going to come a time where she wants to get proactive again. She wants to get busy again. Okay, so we've sat down and we've actually envisioned creating a generational home where we have our main home, we have a secondary home as well. So when my son's older, he doesn't have to worry about buying a house or paying for bills or anything like that. He can go away and do what he wants to do, knowing that he doesn't have to worry about the foundations in his life, because this is where a lot of stress comes from. A lot of stress comes from not having the foundations actually in your life, not having those footings in place, because you're trying to find a home, you're trying to pay your bills, you're trying to do those basic things in life, and your attention is kind of taken away from the things that you really want to do. So we want to provide and we want to protect our family. But then the nice thing about this is, and this is something we've envisioned, Me and my wife will live in the main home. As soon as my son is old enough, he'll live in the secondary home on the same plot of land. And then when we get old and grey and we pass on, he can then move into the main home with his future family. His kids can live in the secondary home. Now, what we've done is we've created now this generational home that can be passed down from generation to generation. And there's no mortgage to pay on it. It's in the family trust, and it can be passed down and passed down and passed down. And this is something that means a tremendous amount to me and my partner. Okay. And then, as you can actually see on here, and this is by being super detail orientated, you'll see 3 cabins right at the very back. Okay, so now this is where we can produce revenue and income actually off the land. So we want to actually create escapes, luxury escapes for UK holidays, holiday lets where people can come and have a UK staycation. And that's something that when my son actually goes to school, my wife can manage that. That's her business, that's her baby, because she loves to serve, she loves to look after people. We both come from a service and coaching background, so we've got a real passion about giving the best experience possible. So now she's got an area that she can absolutely own, if that makes sense. And this is the goal for us now. Now you might be sat here thinking, well, vision boards and things like that, it's all kooky nonsense, and what's to say that that's actually going to become reality? Now, I'll tell you this now, the home that we're in right now, this was actually originally on my vision board, and now I'm sat in my home office in that exact house. Because there's something about when you get clear and when you get crystal clear on exactly where you want to go, it's a lot easier for you to put the stepping stones in place to make that a reality. Vision boards do not work when you're too vague, okay? So if you say, I want to travel, and on your vision board, you just have a picture of a random all-inclusive resort, okay? That's not gonna happen, it's too vague. You've got to get specific, okay? With this vision board that I've actually got here, I know exactly the sort of area it's going to be. I know exactly the acreage it's going to be. I've thought about every single scenario, every single building that I actually want on the land. I've thought about the flow of how the home looks like inside. We've actually mapped that out separately. Okay, so I can see it so damn clearly. And also I've taken this vision board. If I just spin my Mac around, I've also printed this out and put this right in my office. So it's right next to me every single time I come into my office. I'm thinking about that all of the time. This is where I'm going. So then as an entrepreneur, naturally, we get distracted. Okay, we have creative ideas and we try this out. We want to tweak things here. We want to turn a dial here. We get distracted. We have these different pathways in our head. That is all well and good, but how do we pull ourselves back in and stay focused on exactly where we're going? And this is why just explaining what that true one goal for you actually is and getting really clear. I've shared mine with you today. In actual fact, we're in the process right now where we are actively looking for land because we've got that stepping stone process in place to make this a reality. This will happen, okay? We've got ourselves a 5 to 10 year time frame in regards to this actually happening. Everything you see here will be in reality. I'll be able to touch this, I'll be able to feel this, I'll be living in that home, and this will happen because it's tangible, it's specific, it's clear, okay? It's not vague, it's not kooky. And this is what you've got to do with your own vision and where you're actually going. So this is mine personally, but every single person is different, and this is what I work with clients on to get crystal clear on exactly what they want to leverage the profits from their business and put towards, okay? Really important that we get crystal clear, okay? So shared a bit of a personal insight there for you as well, but I think that's really important, okay? Now, as soon as you've got clear on your vision, you then want to share that vision with an IFA, so an independent financial advisor, okay? Now, this is really important that you do that because an independent financial advisor, okay, I can't give financial advice because I'm not a financial advisor, but what we actually do within SoloCoach, we have a trusted partner that will actually work with you to make sure that, okay, that is the vision, that's where we want to go, okay, this is how much it's actually going to cost you in order to actually do that. Okay, now let's reverse engineer that and break this down so you can figure out exactly what you need to extract out of your business per year to make that happen and make that a reality. So again, we're not just looking at that vision as theory, as a dream, as something that won't happen. We are making it crystal clear. We're working with an IFA. We'll reverse engineer it. Okay, this is exactly what you need to do to make that happen. And this is the power of the leverage program within SoloCoach. Okay, so for example, something that the IFA will actually do with you is they'll look at your earned money. Okay, they'll work with your accountant, which we'll touch on in a moment. And what we want to do is we want to find the best tax efficient way, okay, to extract the money from your business and invest it into either a fund or an investment or an asset or something that will actually spit out money on an annual basis. Okay, so this is where this will be different for every single strategy that is out there, and this is why we need the IFA. Okay, so I'm not giving financial advice. There's certain funds, for example, like a savings account, you might get 1% return every single year, which is terrible. Okay, you get some like cash ISAs as an example, it might be 4%. So 4% of the money that you put in there every year will be given to you in regards to annual interest. Okay, fantastic. There's the stocks and shares ISAs, which is then on average around 11% a year. Okay, you can invest it into property, into a development, into other businesses. Okay, where are we going to take the money that we've earned from our solo coaching business, the profit? How do we tax efficiently then invest it? And then what are we going to invest that into to get the best annual return possible that we're comfortable with? Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to work towards that dream, work towards that goal from the interest, okay, not from the money that you actually earn, from the interest, because we want to invest the money that we earn into something that spits us out that interest, and then we want to work towards the goal from the interest that we actually earn. Now, the larger percentage annual return that you actually go for, the riskier it is. They're just the facts. Okay, so the smaller annual return that you get, the safer, quote unquote, it actually is. Okay, so you need to look at your risk tolerance. You need to have that conversation with the IFA, and you need to have your specific strategy actually in place. And by the time you've actually gone through that process, you've got nice and clear on where you're going, you've got your stepping stones in place, you know exactly what you're going to be investing in, okay, to work towards your goal is now clear. Okay, fantastic. Okay, we got to this point, the goal's there, the stepping stones are there, brilliant. Right, this dream now is no longer just theory. I know exactly how I'm actually going to get there. Brilliant. Right, this is now where you go to your accountant, okay? And it's really, really important that you get your accountant on the same page. Share the vision with the accountant. Bring the IFA into the conversation with the accountant. You need to create a little bit of a team around you in regards to making your dream a reality, okay? So from your solo coaching business, you're bringing in an IFA, you're bringing in an accountant, okay? You have myself as part of the solo coaching program. And now what you've got is you've got this mini support network that is going to make your dream reality, okay? Really, really important. Now, the accountant's role is to tax efficiently and tax compliance, okay? Make sure that we make those investments in the best possible way with the business structure that you've got in place, okay? So if you're in the UK, if you've got a limited company or a sole trader, you might have a holdings company structure, okay? So how have you actually set the business up? Or how do we need to set the business up in order to follow the stepping stones that the IFA has actually put in place? How do we do that tax efficiently so everything's above board? How do we actually do that, okay? And then what we then do is we marry everything up together so you have complete clarity on exactly where you're going to work towards your goal, okay? This is the power of the leverage program, okay? And then the key thing is we don't deviate from the game plan. It's as simple as that. Most entrepreneurs, they get bored, they get distracted, they pivot, they change, and that goal doesn't become reality because you might walk a couple of the stepping stones and then decide you want to go a different direction. Okay, you need to make sure that as soon as that is in place, we follow the game plan. We leverage the business for your one true goal. Okay, the goal isn't to be a coach and just live, and that is your only purpose, to just live off that business forever. Okay, so that we need to make sure that you're not completely reliant on it. You need to protect yourself. You need to provide. Okay, you need to make sure that you are looked after. So if anything happens to the coaching business, you're okay. You're still working toward your goal. Everything is absolutely fine. Okay, if a huge wave of change actually happens in your industry, it's okay. you're absolutely fine. And this is what we want to do from a protection standpoint, but achieving the goals that you actually want to achieve. How do we go away and do that? And it's really, really important that you follow this stepping stone process within a part 4 that I've actually just gone through within this mini series. And this is the final step of the 3 steps to make sure that you are truly working towards the real goal that you actually want to achieve. Okay. So to recap, what we've gone through is we've identified the old way of coaching and how to actually coach moving forward to make sure that you've got a highly profitable solo coaching business. We've then gone through the Kickstart process, okay, the exact system to plug into your coaching business to make sure that you are geared up, you are prepared, and you can handle 100 clients plus working less than 20 hours a week. Okay, how do you actually do that? We've gone through that. We've then gone through the 6-step process and the acquisition system to create a predictable flow of sales coming into the business, and the 6-step process to take you towards a £50,000 per month plus solo coaching business that has huge profit margins. We've then gone through how to leverage those profits with the stepping stone process that we've gone through in today's video to make sure that you're actually working towards that one true goal. And this is the flow to take you from stuck, stagnant, unsure, worried, in fear, and just completely lost right now that you might, these feelings that you might feel as an online coach right now, all the way to working towards your one true goal. Okay, I hope you found this helpful. To kickstart the entire process, as always, the link is in the description to plug in that Kickstart system, to go through the Kickstart program and plug in the Solo Coach system. And you can kickstart this entire journey and start working towards the things that truly matter in your life. I'll speak to you soon.